Hello everybody, my name is Chase Folsom here with Mike Neff for Frontstretch.com. We are live at Florence Motor Speedway after the Cookout 225 for the Z-Max Cars Tour. We saw another fantastic night of racing, so we're going to start with the pro late models. Spencer Davis picks up his first career Cars Tour win after a late race battle with Jake Bowman. Mike, what did you make of that late race battle between the two?
The whole night we saw guys go out front and stay out front. And you don't normally do that at Florence. If you go out and run like a rabbit early, you end up getting swallowed up. And Bowman did get swallowed up at the end, but it wasn't like he just cascaded back through the field. He still ended up coming in second place and gave Davis everything that he could. But in the end, Spencer just was a little bit better. I think he saved his stuff a little more, and it allowed him to get by and grab the win.
And he mentioned how much the win means to him after he's been grinding in this series for so long. But moving on to the late model stock car portion of the night, they were back on the F45s for the first time in 2024, and we saw a classic Florence tire-saving race, comers and goers throughout the night. But in the end, it was Ryan Millington picking up his first Cars Tour win since Ace 2020.
4 years. Seems like only yesterday, doesn't it? Yeah, he's come close a few times. He's had some chances, and they just haven't panned out. In all honesty, I don't know if it was necessarily a tire-saving race. That was one of the things that Mason Diaz commented about in his post-race discussion with me, was that he was shocked at guys that just jumped out front and stayed out front. I mean, they were up front the whole race. They didn't get swallowed up. At 125 laps, you expected people to go out not to do that. And in all honesty, it reminded me of the Myrtle Beach 400 when Myatt Snyder won. Myatt Snyder went out as a rabbit and almost lapped the field, and everybody's like, oh, he's done. And he was never done, and nobody else caught him. He ended up winning the race. And that was the same thing tonight. Those guys got out front, and yes, we had some cautions, but they were able to maintain on the restarts, and they ended up winning the race.
It's worth noting as well, Dale Earnhardt Jr. back in the Cars Tour tonight. He started 22nd, rode around in the back, saving his tires for most of the night, and came back for a top 10 finish. Anything you expected more or less from Junior, or pretty much status quo?
I thought he'd come a little stronger at the end, but to be fair, it was difficult to pass on the bottom. So you had to throw it on the high side, and when you did throw it on the high side, you did actually damage your tires. And so when you got that late in the race, a lot of guys were on the bottom. You were going to have to go high, and he just didn't have enough time and enough tire at that point to make the passes, so he didn't get as far forward as I thought he would.
And he mentioned to us post-race as well that this was the first time he had really successfully run the top here at Florence. And this all goes back to us being back on the F45s.
Yep. I
feel like this was a necessary change for the series. We've seen a lot of inconsistencies with the ST2s throughout the season. Wake County last week, they had, I believe, 6 different tire codes between 19 cars. What did you make of the return back to the old tires?
I was glad to see it. I mean, it's the workhorse. I mean, it's tried and true. It's been around forever. They know how to make it. They know how it works. And I don't know why they went down another path. I'm sure there was reasons. But in the end, this is the tire that has worked forever. They know how to run it. Everybody knows how to make it work. And it was silly to get off of it, and I'm glad they're back.
That's just about going to do it for us tonight at Florence. If you want to see more Cars Tour content, be sure to check out our YouTube page, Frontstretch Grassroots, or at Frontstretch on Twitter. For Mike Neff, I've been Chase Folsom. We will see you guys at South Boston. Good night from Florence Motor Speedway.
Hey race fans, I'm Anthony Damcott with Frontstretch.com. If you enjoyed that Grassroots video, be sure to subscribe to Frontstretch Grassroots for more from ARCA, Cars Tour, and other homegrown racing series. And be sure to visit Frontstretch.com for all the latest great racing content.